What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video, I'm going to be trying Lugia here in the Great League Remix Cup. Somewhat spicy, and I really wanted to pair it with a Alolan Sandslash, and we're rounding it out with Jellicent here as well, making an all-blue themed team. And what I will say is Jellicent and Shadow Alolan Sandslash are definitely worth investing in having on your roster. Lugia is just extra spicy, so what you could pair there is just another flyer. I have it as the flyer role to help counteract a lot of the fighters that we see out there. So other flyers could pair well with this team. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys need Lugia in the Great League, you can get it by trading with someone who has a one-heart friendship with you, and they caught it from a raid, right? So it can potentially roll under 1,500. That's how I was able to get mine. All right, getting into the first battle, we have Sandslash on the lead versus Macargo. This is just bad. Now, it is going to be an Incinerate Macargo as well, and I'm going to go ahead and come in with the Lugia. Now, Lugia is obviously not the best answer, but what you guys need to do is when you are battling, you don't want to give up your hardest coverage to that lead Pokemon, right? Jellicent is going to be our best answer, so Lugia instead is going to come in here. We're going to go ahead and go for Sky Attack. This is resisted, but it does a decent amount of chip damage, and then I'm going to see if Lugia can survive a Stone Edge. It's doubtful, because this is the Great League, and that is a Macargo, and boom, down goes Lugia. So that is unfortunate, but what we have done is created distance. And as you guys are going to see, they swap into a Shadow Granbull. So now I will not be surprised if they have a Shadow Razor Leaf in the back. Just think about it. They have Incinerate. They have Charm. They're going for that. So I'm going to go ahead and now swap back into Alolan Sandslash here. And we are in a very good position. Alolan Sandslash resists Charm. Shadow Claw shreds down the Granbull. We have Drill Run for Macargo. And as you guys are going to see, we're going to go for the aggressive farm down. Now, the only question is if we can survive that Incinerate damage. We are Shadow. We are double weak. And by the looks of it, we do. I don't know with how much health, but we survived and we're able to get this Drill Run off, allowing us to take out the Macargo, and the final Pokemon is going to be a Roserade. Now, thankfully, because my Jellicent overloaded on energy, I can easily go for Shadow Ball here to take out the Roserade, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Boom. Takes him out. Beautiful. All right. Moving into the next one. And what I will say is the upgrade with Alolan Sandslash, the reason why I'm saying it's worth investing. Now, mine isn't the best. I have some somewhat decent IVs, but it's not the best. We got a Galvantula here on the lead. As you guys can see with my combat power in the top, this was the only one I had without frustration. I do have a better option when I can TM away frustration later. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and just use this one. It's fine. So now what we do is we're going to go ahead and shield here, stopping that discharge. We landed the Ice Punch, and they swap into a Machamp, so we're going to go ahead and bring in Jellicent. Now, the reason why I bring in Jellicent is there's two reasons. First is Rock Slide is only going to do neutral, but I was concerned about the potential payback, and secondly, we resist those counters, right? Whereas Lugia still resists the counters, but Rock Slide does super effective damage. So this is our better answer right here. We're going to go ahead and go for back-to-back Surfs now that we got a shield. And let's see if this is going to be enough damage to take out the Machamp. No, they give up 2 shields in this situation. I thought to myself, there is no way they have a payback in Rock Slide, but no, they do just have a Rock Slide there. And that is why we brought in Jellicent. It can survive the Rock Slide damage. We're going to go ahead and go for the Surf now to take out the Machamp. And then we'll have to see how they decide to answer here. Galvantula is low. And we will swap right away. We saw Psychic typing in the top right, so I swapped right in, and it was a Cresselia, which is perfect here. Now, we do need to watch out for Moonblast, but some Cresselias don't. Some have Grass Knot and Future Sight, which is definitely not going to be enough damage. And now we can go for the Legacy Charge move here of Aeroblast. I was expecting them to potentially swap here at some point to try to catch the charge move, but I'm going to go ahead and wait for them to do the fast move, which they did, and now I will click on Aeroblast. If your opponent does a fast move, they can't switch out. They're locked in, and Aeroblast does land for an incredible amount of damage, and now Lugia will Dragon Tail down, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. All right. Moving into the next one, we have Sandslash on the lead versus Nidoqueen. So very positive matchup for us. We have to watch out for Earth Power, but what I'm reading here is my opponent is not swapping out right away. This tells me that they are weak in the back. You guys have to, I say this in every video, you have to read what your opponent does and does not do, especially in situations like this. Sandslash is a clear win right here with Ice Punch. We shield the Earth Power. They're going to go ahead and look to swap out, and they do catch the charge move, and they go into a Scrafty, which is perfect. We have a good answer with Lugia. Now, Lugia is part Psychic typing, so we will take super effective damage from Foul Play, but it's not enough to KO, which is perfect. What would be bad is if we shield a power-up punch. So we're going to go ahead and let the first one go. It is going to be Foul Play. We're going to overload a bit on energy, and we can go ahead and go for Sky Attack. Now, I don't necessarily need to win Switch right here, because what did I read? I read that they were weak to Alolan Sandslash. So I'm going to play to that. I'm going to go ahead and let the Lugia go down. Foul Play goes through. But remember, this is all about team reading. They didn't swap out a Nidoqueen right away, which means they are core broken somehow, and it's clearly not Scrafty. So I come in with Jellicent, and there's another Jellicent in the back. Now, Sandslash is obviously not a hard answer to a Jellicent, but Shadow Claw does do super effective damage. Now, thankfully, because I do have shield advantage right here, I can safely overload on energy, shielding whatever move Jellicent just threw at us, go for the Shadow Ball, and now boom, I have enough energy for a Surf as well. So I'm going to go ahead and overload a bit. Remember, Scrafty's still in the game. This is very important. Don't throw the Surf right away. Build up that extra energy, knowing that Nidoqueen expended its Earth Power, and now Scrafty coming in, we go for another Surf. And this is how you manage your energy well, especially when you keep track of what your opponent has. Remember, they went for Earth Power against the Sandslash, which means they're out. They're nowhere near, and Poison Fang is not worth shielding. So that is going to be a good game. But ultimately, it came down to team reading, even though I could have easily won that by shielding and farming down. All right, we got Shadow Golbat here on the lead, so tough lead. We got a Shadow Sandslash now swapping in. We don't have a direct answer for Shadow Sandslash, but what we do have is Drill Run and Bail. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Drill Run. We're going to swap now into Jellicent, hoping that we caught, I mean, this is probably just going to be Drill Run, to be all honest, but we caught an Ice Punch. Now, maybe they went for a shield bait thinking I was going to go ahead and shield the Drill Run. But now I can actually safely shield this charge move. It is going to be the Drill Run, which is fine. I can go ahead and overload a bit on energy. And then look to go for Shadow Ball here. Surf, I don't think would do enough damage. Shadow Ball will KO. If I get 2 shields, so be it. But the Shadow Ball knocks them out. Perfect. Now they're going to go ahead and come in with Golbat, and they weren't anywhere near a charge move, so I can easily go. Mind you, charge moves on Golbat is going to be Poison Fang and Shadow Ball. They were nowhere near Shadow Ball, so Poison Fang would have been the play, and they soak the Shadow Ball and then swap into Quagsire. So I can easily go for a Surf here, and then we need to bring in the Lugia. We did get a shield as well. They were obviously very concerned about another Shadow Ball, but Lugia here is once again going to show its bulk. We will no shield. It is going to be Stone Edge. We can easily survive that. And now we have to play the energy game. What do we know? We know the Golbat is close to a charge move, if not already having a Shadow Ball. I think it is one fast move away. Quagsire just went for a Stone Edge, and then they pulled the trigger. They went for 2 Stone Edges. They just pulled the trigger early, which means this is a Mud Bomb, which now allows me to go for one more Dragon Tail. This Sky Attack now is going to KO the Quagsire. My hope is that Golbat does not have enough energy. Now, the Sky Attack did not KO Quagsire right there, but that's okay because it's out of energy anyways. They swap back into Golbat. We have the Sky Attack ready, and now we Dragon Tail down the Quagsire, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Mind you, we still had our Shadow Alolan Sandslash. All right, we got Sandslash versus Mandibuzz here on the lead, so very positive lead once again for us. We'll have to see what they decide to do and read what your opponent is and is not doing. Now, they loaded up a little bit of energy and then decided to swap, so this is not a direct tell that they are core broken in the back. It's a tell that they want a little bit of extra energy. Now, I decided to shield, and it is going to be a payback right there, which is perfect. And Double is very tough for this team. It can be, right? It has Double Kick for Alolan Sandslash. It has Payback or Wild Charge for both Lugia and Jellicent. So you have to be careful about double teams. And so what we're going to do is let the Payback go through. We can easily survive. Now we're going to go for a Sky Attack here because I don't want to give up another shield in order to take this down, because I think Double might have gotten to the Body Slam in time. It's very quick with the Double Kick fast move. Now we will probably see that Mandibuzz come back in, but instead they come in with Sandslash. So we swap right away into Jellicent, drawing back out the Mandibuzz. What does this do? This is clearly like a losing matchup. Well, firstly, when you have something like an Alolan Sandslash, which has Drill Run, which has Shadow Claw, we don't want it to get a ton of energy, especially when we only have one shield left. So by swapping in Jellicent, it makes them want to swap out, stop loading up on energy, and go into Mandibuzz. Now this is a losing matchup for us, which is fine. But where we win here is by coming back in with our own Alolan Sandslash and doing an incredibly hard farm down. Mandibuzz is part dark typing. Alolan Sandslash with Shadow Claw, it's going to be resisted, which means and I come in right away. There's no waiting for switch clock. We come in, we farm down, and now we have 2 drill runs ready to go. They probably don't even have 1 yet, but they have to get to 2, and they decided to let that one go through. I decided to swap into Lugia to try to catch the charge move, but we Dragon Tail down. Now their play was to no shield and Ice Punch, right? That was their win con. Otherwise, I just go 3 straight drill runs and win because I'm outpacing them because of the energy that I had. Good game. All right, we got Galvantula here on the lead. So let's see what they decide to do. They're going to go ahead and decide to stay in. I will give up a shield just like before. And I believe we CMP tied there on the Ice Punch, which is fine. We know this does a lot of damage. We will likely see a swap out from my opponent. So let's see. We get a shield actually, and now they swap out, and they swap out into Double. And this is where I said earlier, right, we saw Payback. Now we're going to be seeing a different variant, a tougher variant. It's going to be, well, it's going to be Payback again. Sorry, I thought this was the Wild Charge one, or maybe they go for the, was this the one where they go Payback and Wild Charge? It might be. I had quite a few games with this set. Obviously, I can't show you guys every single game, but I wanted to give you guys some variety. This is Body Slam variant. So we do survive right there, and they will take us down. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to successfully shield the Payback, but now we're in a very tough position. I have to come in with Jellicent here and load up on energy, and I will be forced to shield a Payback. So this is tough. I feel like I can get a lot of energy here. I'm going to go ahead and shield it is Payback. And we're going to try our best to farm down, but they swap into a Cofagrigus, which is going to be a very tough answer for us because now I'm going for Shadow Ball. I could have gone for Shield Bait here looking back, knowing that they would likely shield, but now I got to pull the trigger early and go into Surf, and I think in this game I honestly just make some misplays here. I've done very well through my other battles, but no one's perfect. They go ahead and go for the charge move, and I'm swapping out right away if this does not KO, but it KOs anyways, and now we come in with Sandslash, and I'm going to go ahead and go for Ice Punch. Now, the reason why I went for Ice Punch somewhat right away is I didn't want them to get to a Dark Pulse in time. Now, we can still win this game. There is Galvantula, which is out of energy, and there is the Double. So Galvantula is going to be coming back in. There's 1, there's 2. They make a beautiful swap and catch the charge move. And this is why I preach it all the time. Save your low health Pokemon because they will come in clutch for sacrificial swaps. So amazing play by my opponent. But I think ultimately I kind of misplayed that game there. I could have shielded early on Lugia. I also could have gone for the Surf Bait against the Cofagrigus and then go for the Shadow Ball. So that's okay. All right, we got Primeape on the lead. Very tough. We're going to go ahead and go into Jellicent here, and we draw out a Quagsire. So Quagsire is not a hard answer to a Jellicent, which is perfect because now we can freely look to potentially take this mid-game matchup. Shadow Ball does land as well, which is huge for us. A Shadow Ball landing and getting a Quagsire down to 33.33, repeating, of course. Leroy Jenkins, health. So many of you guys comment about it. Yes, I loved World of Warcraft playing that growing up. But it allows us to go for Surfs right here because Surf is now within range to KO. Mud Bomb as well is not going to be KOing us right here. So we are still looking very, very good. We already got 1 shield from them. And if I want to, I can go into the 1s here to take switch back. But I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to come in with Lugia and look to farm. Oh, Sandslash could be all right here. Yeah, I come back in with Sandslash instead. I'm going to come in with Sandslash because I can easily give up a shield. And the reason why is I don't know what their final Pokemon is, but I know I could put a lot of pressure on this Primeape with an Ice Punch or Drill Run. Now, they decided to swap in right away, which allows me to land the Ice Punch and now come in with Lugia. Primeape does have access to both Ice Punch and Night Slash, which are super effective damage, but I don't need to worry about it KOing me. I can easily let it go and fully farm down. Now, we know there's a Quagsire, but we don't know what the final Pokemon is, and it's going to be an Empoleon. So what I'm going to look to do here is go for the Aeroblast. This is basically my win con, is going for Aeroblast, because if they let it go, it does so much damage. Now, they will farm me down, but I can Shadow Claw right here, because Empoleon is still one waterfall away. I believe one, counting right there. I think they're at 9, so it's 5. So there's... Yep, we Shadow Claw down before they get the energy for the charge move, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. Now, looking back on that, if they shielded Aeroblast, I think I could have gotten to that Drill Run potentially in time. It might have been close, but overall, really fun team here. Again, trying to bring a little bit of spice here with Lugia, but I did want to showcase that Shadow Alolan Sandslash, I will be bringing it to more teams, is incredibly strong, both for Open Great League and the Great League Remix Cup, and just specialty cups in general. Even though it has a massive weakness to fighters and fires, it still does incredibly well, right? No one looks down on a Swampert who can get shredded by Razor Leaf in like 2 or 3 hits, right? Because of how strong it is. Shadow Alolan Sandslash is the same thing, but you have to build a strong team around it, which I think we did today. Again, if you guys don't have Lugia, try other flyers. Maybe a Golbat right there, for example, could be a pretty good option. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.